Every great nation is built on the dreams of people who choose to start over. Today's guest isn't just guiding that journey, she's shaping it. Shivani Uberoi, a licensed immigration advisor and the director of VisaWise New Zealand. She's not only helped thousands of people to find home in New Zealand, but also become the bridge between global talents and New Zealand's growing economy. From working with migrants, entrepreneurs, to meeting the Prime Minister herself, she's seen firsthand how people and purpose come together to define opportunity. In today's episode of Scaling Secrets, we'll be diving deep into how immigration fuels innovation, what is the real problem with the migrants, the challenges, the mindset that it takes to scale. So settle in, because this is all about courage, community, and creating your own path. Welcome, Shivani, to Scaling Secrets. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Bridge. I'm doing really good and quite excited to have a conversation with you today.
That's amazing. You need to be excited for this because it's the first time that you're doing a podcast here.
Sure.
And any podcast that you've been to. So that will be surely an interesting and very interesting way to have a next 45 minutes that we go through with this conversation and see, what can we learn about immigration and what more information that you can give us or help people within, who is in the area and stuff, so we can help us with the more,
Sure.
constructive stuff that they can go through. One thing that I always relate back to is opportunity doesn't wait for permissions. For you, when you founded VisaWise, what was that doorway that you opened for yourself, and what made you kind of step through that doorway?
I would say that it was not something that I ever thought or planned for. When I moved in personally to this new country, as an immigrant, I went through quite a lot. Everyone
Sure.
has their unique journey.
Absolutely.
So I had my own. What I felt was that immigration is an absolutely new dynamics that you actually go through. And
Yeah.
that only happens when you actually make that decision of moving out of your country,
True.
moving out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
When you help those migrants understanding their situations, helping them out, coming out of their anxiety and circumstances, it gives you a feeling of happiness. It gives you a feeling of contentment. Maybe that is the reason that, that is the only thing that has kept me moving all this while in the immigration space.
That's amazing. Talking about guiding the migrants towards that complex pathways. I've been a migrant. I know exactly how complex it is. But the people or the audience who might be looking at this later on, they might relate it quite a bit with this conversation that we're going to have it from here onwards. What was your pathway like, right? As you said, you talked about your starting journey, that you were a migrant. How did you start that journey? And, understanding how complex it is anyways.
Bridge, I came here in 2015. I moved in. Before that, I was working in supply chain and procurement industry. I worked in that industry for almost 14 to 16 years. So when I moved in here, it was an absolutely new environment, new culture, new background. Sure. Initial years were very, very challenging for me. I did not know what to do, how to navigate. And that is where actually it started off. So how I gotten into the immigration space was again the same path. So I came from a different industry, working in a different industry as a new migrant, were trying to settle down, looking for job opportunities. And that's when, I reached out to one of an immigration advisor company. And when I was discussing about my profile, he straight away asked me that, well, see, you look like a strong candidate for us. How about if we offer you a job?
Wow.
And I thought that, straight away from a different industry to a legal industry.
Yep.
But I thought on it for
Yeah.
a few days, few
Yeah.
moments. And then I was like, okay, might as well just try and change your environment completely.
True,
And that's when
true.
I took up the job offer.
Yeah.
It was a very new, landscape for me.
Absolutely.
I learned quite a lot working with, how, because it's a service industry that I was never
Absolutely,
dealt in.
That's correct.
And I was just, I probably somehow felt that this is where I belong to, rather than what I was doing all these
Wow.
years.
Okay. Was it coming, the relatability of this job, was it coming from, helping, or did you even think it is more about helping build futures? Did you even thought that side of the process?
I would put it in a way that, whenever this is my personal experience, that whenever I meet a migrant,
True.
they never come to me with a very happy faces. Most of the times they're very anxious. They have their own, overthinking zone. They have a lot of questions in their mind. And when I try to sit with them and when I try to understand them and then help them understanding that this is where you are, this is what we are talking about in terms of immigration policies and instructions.
True.
And when we try to solve their problems, this is where I feel more comfortable and I feel more, belonging to this industry.
That's interesting. And you said you talked about you coming from a supply chain background as well, right? I mean, I have worked 6 years in supply chain over here, but I've worked from an IT industry. I know that industry is a bit way off from legal as well.
Yeah.
So when you started this, sort of VisaWise, the company itself, what changed as a person in yourself?
I would say everything. So a complete change within me.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's just the business or the practice that you are in. I believe that when you become a business person yourself, that comes with a lot of responsibilities on your head.
Absolutely, 100%.
Most of the times I feel it's like raising your own child. So I have a 10-year-old daughter, like how I treat her with all her requirements depending on the age. This is what I feel that with VisaWise, how I started off, my expectations and the requirements and how I dealt during my 6 months time and then 1 year's time. And then when we scaled up with employees coming in, then there's psychological things, emotional things, financial things. So there are quite a lot of aspects that you deal with that changes you as a person completely. There was a time when I was a very cool, chilled out person. Like Fridays for me were more about enjoying having fun with friends.
Yeah.
But now Fridays for me is that, oh, tomorrow is Saturday, Sunday. So, staff is not going to be there. I can have that time. So, I should sleep by 10, 11 so that I wake up fresh and then I can start off my Saturdays and Sundays in a very quiet times and I can be more productive
100%.
as compared to what the week was.
So it's a whole new ball game for you then.
Yeah, before starting off with my own, I don't remember any week wherein I worked 7 days a week, 14 to 16 hours a day. But now this is my life.
Quite interesting. And talking about this itself, I've read somewhere, I would say, that some people say, immigration is just about visa. What is your unfiltered response to those kind of people or people who think that way?
Yeah. There's a background here that I would like to share.
Sure,
Plus, I'll
go ahead.
answer you first. Immigration is absolutely not about just a visa. That is for sure. Immigration itself is a journey.
Yep.
Immigration itself are the experiences, are the people that you meet, that you build up, the change within you that you feel. When we talk about visas, yes, visa is just a legal word that we talk about, the paper that we talk about. But imagine to get that paper in your hand, what all you go through is what immigration is. When I was naming the company, I had a lot of ideas coming up. Although our company name is VisaWise, but I always kept on thinking that is it visa or is it immigration? So I liked the VisaWise because it's more about, visa and the knowledge that you get, for New Zealand immigration. I found that more relatable with the clients that I deal with. I went ahead with this name. But in general, if you ask me, immigration is a long journey. It is definitely a journey and it is a never-ending journey because it's not where you just started off and then you become something and you establish your careers. It's the journey that you even give it to your next generations. It's a big decision.
Very interesting way of looking at it, right? I mean, and again, having a depth of that understanding of what you go through and things that is behind the scenes. What we talk is about the process. It's not about what the end goal is or the goal you get. It's about the process that you go through for getting what you want to get.
Absolutely.
Right. One thing that always comes to my mind is bigger risk is not about moving countries. It's about getting stuck in an opportunity.
Absolutely.
But take us back about your time when you left your comfort zone to get something absolutely new in New Zealand. So what was that like?
It wasn't easy for me. No, it wasn't.
Absolutely not.
It was a big decision that I had to make, and I was really not ready to make that decision.
Fair enough.
Especially spending years and years in one industry. Me personally, I was doing great. I was at a phase of my life wherein, I traveled the world and I was really enjoying where I was. Coming here, we knew no one in this country when we moved in. It wasn't the destiny. It was a trust that we had in the whole process of immigration. We made this decision and we just moved on. But I am a person who generally believes that once the decision is made, it's made. So when I made that decision, I thought that, okay, whatever challenges that comes on the way, whatever things that comes on our way, we'll take it. We'll try to solve it as and when it comes. We'll try to make this country our home. Fortunately, by God's grace, we did that in a pretty much decent time.
No, fair enough. I would say it's a really decent time.
Yeah. And that is generally whenever I am in my own emotional state and when I'm sitting with any client to whom that, is really interested to know me, this is what I often tell them, that don't worry. I would say live all these challenges that you are living in. Live this journey because this will make you a very different person that you may not have ever thought of.
Yeah. Absolutely. Talking about yourself as well, because when you shifted quite a bit, a lot longer years in what you were doing, when you joined in here, licensed immigration advisor at a different place, and now transitioning into a director for the VisaWise New Zealand.
Yeah.
What was your early setbacks or kind of misconceptions that pushed you to kind of, excel in this kind of a journey of being into a director?
So I was fortunate enough to actually got a lot of experiences in the immigration journey.
That's good.
In the immigration industry before I actually started off my own.
Yeah.
So how it happened, when I started off in with my first immigration company, that was more about B2C market, wherein we were dealing with each and every individual person, understanding their situation, helping them, with their representations and all. Later on, I also got an opportunity to work with a bigger firm, wherein I was dealing with B2B market, which is more about, like we had a number of applications to deal with as an immigration advisor.
Yep.
With all honesty, I was doing the work, but it was not as complex for me as I was expecting it to be.
It could be.
But then all those, both different sides of the coins made me realize that what I actually want to and where do I have to get into.
True.
So when I started off with baby steps.
True.
With my garage space occupied, like my table and a small couch for somebody who wanted to come.
Yeah, sure.
I was I wasn't very comfortable, if I really have to say that. But then also I thought that's fine. Even if it's a smaller space, even if, I just meet one person in a day, that is still fine. I will still, go with that.
No, fair enough.
But the only thing that I have always felt, and till date I feel, is that I feel very connected when I help people, when I listen to them.
That's good.
The day I will feel disconnected or the day I feel that, yes, I'm so exhausted now, that would be the last day for me in this immigration industry.
Interesting. I mean, I highly have met anybody. There was a very beautiful conversation that I was going through when I was watching something. And there was a person who said, do you have any exit strategy? And that person was, I've never thought about it. And I think it is pretty much, people who have loved or like the passion of helping people or are in the passion of this business, in any sort of business, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's your side of business or your vertical of business or product-based industry or service-based industry, they are very well connected. The co-founders are pretty clear as to what they need to do. There is nothing like exiting the business at all. Any stage in mind you think, okay, I want to give up. Nobody thinks about it. But talking about your building stage as well, in the period then when you started from that couch to where you guys are now, what about your beliefs? What have you beliefs need to be left behind for you to scale as a leader?
my first belief was that I'm leaving a secure job. How about my mortgages? How about my expenses? Who's
True.
going to pay them?
Of course.
What about if I don't really earn that much?
Sure.
That was one of a belief that I had. I would say that was more like, I thought on it a couple of times before moving on. But I was a very strong believer, and I would say I'm a very spiritual person as well. So I kept on thinking that no, whatever is coming my way, and all these things are, if I'm making those decisions and going on those lines, there must be some reason behind it. So I didn't stop myself, and I kept going on. Another thing that I had in my mind was that I always had that fascination of creating employability. I don't know how come it came in me, but I always thought, and I always got very inspired by those companies who create employability, wherein people, staff, team members feel very associated working with you in your brand. They feel a part of the company. They grow, they learn, and then they move on with their lives.
Of course.
So I always thought that, how about if we create a brand wherein there are household expenses that are being paid off by the brand, and people are working with us, we meet, associations are building up, and then every year we grow more. And till date, I feel that employability is one part that just takes me to the next level again and again. Every time I think of giving up, every time I think of that, of course, we are human beings, right? We all go through physical stress, emotional stress, quite a lot of other things that comes along. But one thing I always think is that if I slow down, this whole thing will slow down. And what about the employees who are relying on us? So just move on.
No, fair enough. And so we talked about a belief that actually motivated you to get that done, but was there a belief when you were working as an employee somewhere else that you had to leave and adapt a certain belief of employability to carry on the journey? Was there a belief that you had when you were working as an employee from Monday to Friday?
Maybe not.
No, fair enough. That's absolutely fine.
I started off, I never thought on all those things. The only thing I had in my mind is that I need to grow.
Okay.
We need to do something which is
different.
And we need to do something which grows every year, which motivates, myself and other people. First thing that I thought, I don't know whether it may sound very selfish, but first thing that I thought was about me. Because I always thought that what is it that makes me happy?
100%.
And it's my work. That is it.
No,
I am not somebody who will, sit in front of TV and watch TV. Even if you put me in a room which is like for 3 months, 4 months time without TV, I can live with that. I would. That's
Need
not
to have
me.
an Instagram, or that's okay?
Yeah, I do have some social media pages.
Okay, no fair. So I just thought, I was like, without TV, it's pretty difficult, but it needs to have a phone or what? No fair. We'll give you a phone next time we think of that idea.
Yeah, but I think work motivates me. That's it.
No, that's good. That should be, and talking about the work itself, when you said that in that garage, you're having your seat, there was a sofa, the first migrant that came to you, right?
Yes.
And when you gave that advice of whether it's a student, work, resident visa, which we all know, whatever the other aspects are of the visas, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever think that they might fail? And if they do, how would you cope it out?
No, I never felt that.
Interesting.
That is one thing that I feel very confident in. If I'm not confident in anything, I would not open my mouth.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. I would just tell them very clearly and very comfortably that this is not my space, or this is what I don't know, and I can help you out finding someone who has expertise in that. But I wouldn't say until I'm absolutely clear on the advice that I'm giving it to them. So I never had those issues.
It is confidence, right? That's what you need to reflect in terms of what you're saying, is pretty much that confidence that you had in the work that you're doing, the knowledge that you had of it. And that's interesting as well. And the capability that you had in yourself as well as a business, because you are the business pretty much, right?
In fact, I like that when we were talking about that, I'm not a very TV person.
Okay.
So I like to brush up my own knowledge by reading the same thing again and again.
That's good.
I have a bad habit of doing it. I don't know why I do it, but I like it. So same operational manual, same instructions, but I still read it, because every time I read it, interestingly,
there's always a new information.
And coincidentally, I meet the same kind of a clients, wherein they are actually looking for that advice. And this is my own personal journey, what I feel. And I have always delivered that, yes, because I knew this, through the knowledge that I gained. So maybe on that side, whenever I meet someone, if I don't know, I just tell them I don't know. I
No.
have never felt ashamed of saying, I don't know.
That's fair enough. And I think there is a beautiful way of saying it as well. It's no harm in saying that. But I also feel, we talked about the employability and everything, that scaling is a business isn't about more hiring people, right?
Yes.
It is leading more deeper aspect of it.
Exactly.
So at what point did VisaWise, stop being a normal consultancy and became a partner in growth for the migrants?
I think 2023, maybe 2024 starting, something like that.
Fair enough.
So
What happened? What happened?
How it happened is that, of course, like with everyone, similarly, I had one or two people with me, supporting me. It was my marketing team. They were also new like me.
Of course.
So they started off like how started off. Our energies were quite aligned. Our thoughts, goals were quite aligned. Same conversation we used to happen. That, okay, every morning we used to wake up, all those affirmations, and all those positive thoughts. That, okay, this is where we want to go. This is what we want to do. So we kept moving on.
Yep.
So we had, I had one team member, very, very supportive. And I always thought that, I have to give him the right tools. I have to give him the right space. I have to give him, the feel of working in a company.
Absolutely.
So that's how we started off. Then I opened one office, very small office, but it was just me who was working on it. Anyone who used to come, I used to feel very conscious again that, okay, it's a small office, they're coming. But again, I was like, that's fine. Gradually, I moved on to the next step. So I never moved on, with a big bang all of a sudden. I actually took very gradual steps.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel that I'm more like a Japanese who will think and think and think and then make a decision. That's great sometimes. But yeah, it's just a personality disorder I have. I
wouldn't take it that way, but that's a good one. That you said that, but that's okay.
So I take ages to make a decision. And then I decided that no, I actually want to give him that space and he should feel happy with that. So then we, from one table to another table, then move on to a bigger, fancier office, thinking that, it will give us that vibes that, we need.
Yeah.
Then we started off, then another team member joined in. Then we have another fabulous team member joined in. I think with him, like how we say, in India also, you must have heard that every time we have a new team member or a baby coming to our house, it actually brings a lot of prosperity. So I feel that all my team members, as and when they joined, business grew.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And this is the reality. This is absolutely a reality of VisaWise.
And that's absolutely a beautiful story itself, right? And considering people joining in, the clients that you attend from different countries or maybe industries that people are coming from, how do you hold on to your values, in terms of while you're expanding the scope? There's a different thinking or a different strategic mindset that you need, but at the same time, keeping your values. How do you do that?
I would say I'm lucky enough to have those team members in my company who has the same goals and values. Sometimes it happens that I have met people who have different goals and different objectives, but they have stayed only for a short time, given me the experiences that I should have got. In terms of values, I wouldn't say that, I'm somebody who would go, on a whiteboard and write, okay, this is the values, this is the core deliverables that, we have to deliver every day. I think it's the energy that we create within ourselves. It's the way we treat people, whether it's office, whether it's clients, stakeholders, whosoever we go and meet them. When we talk from our own beliefs and values that we carry, I think other person gets the same energies from us, and it just carries on with that. So I am never, I generally give flexibility to everyone who is ever around me, whether it's my, my family or my teammates or whosoever. I am not a person who would ever be like, okay, tell me what is happening. Tell me, what did you do whole day today? No, probably that is not how my upbringing in my career has ever happened.
Okay.
So my seniors have always given me the autonomy to, work on my own. And I believe that gives us a lot of sense of accomplishment, and that gives us a lot of confidence. I do the same thing with my team members, and they have always delivered the best, and somehow they are also like this, that it's an immigration industry. So when we are dealing with the client, it's a very sensitive matter that we are dealing with. So we can't have, when it's a work hours, it's absolutely a work hours. So there cannot be any other, distractions that we can get into. And once we work and once we work very diligently and very, very much focused, I think we reach our goals.
And
That's
is
how I
there
feel.
any kind of one or two values that stand out for you that you really kind of
Uh,
look into?
yeah, personally, I feel is that anyone to whom you're meeting, especially our clients, listen to them.
Okay.
Don't rush.
Yep.
They are coming to you, understand what exactly they are coming to you, respect them. Because when you meet different people, we all have a different personalities. Some talk fast, some talk slow, some have a lot of expectations, psychological assurances. Some people are not that, they don't bother. They're quite okay that, okay, we have given you the work, we have given you, we have, we have confidence in you, so you will do it. Some people have a habit of calling us 10 times a day asking the same thing. So this is how immigration industry is. But one value that I feel, and I always give it to my team member, is no matter whatever it is, be respectful.
Yeah.
And there is no negotiation on that terms. There cannot be anything. Be very, very respectful.
I started to go back in my thoughts. What was I looking like? But anyways, now that it's gone past that stage, I don't want to think about it. But, how do you realize about your leadership when, kind of stakes are high? If you need to guide the team, there's family sitting in front of you, they're talking to you. So how do you kind of, go through that understanding of taking through that change? Because what they're thinking and what you telling them is a two different things, right? Because they read something or overthought about any situation.
Yeah.
So that point and stage, whoever is dealing like for self, let's take an example, the stakes are high. How do you deal with that?
You mean mostly like when clients are coming with their own?
So clients, or even they're coming with a problem and expecting an answer. And that answer is about a change, right? They have a change. Even a team member, if he's coming with a problem, he has a certain thought and aspect in the mind. But you as a leader, your stakes are pretty much high at every cost and stage, because they think you are the leader, so you should have every answer to the problem that comes in your way, right? So the stakes are pretty high for you as a leadership, right? And how do you deal with that in terms of that mindset change for either it's your employee, teammate, or if it's your families coming in and talking to you about it?
I would say like you and me talking right now.
Yeah.
So whenever two people are talking, there is always thoughts that coming in our mind as well, right? So team member or whosoever is coming to me, first of all, I feel I wouldn't use the word privilege, but I would say that I feel very fortunate that people think that they can come to me. If they're coming to me with a problem, that means somehow they will feel that, yes, I will have some solutions or answers to them. And what I do is that I let them talk. Half of the problem is solved when they actually talk. And when they're talking, I try to either understand, what is it? Because sometimes what happens is, Bridge, that I have this happened with me personally, and I always feel that it happens with all of us, all individual. I'll give you a short story here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Once I was going through quite a rough phase in my life. I met somebody. He asked me, so what's going on? And I told him what's going on. I just started off and told him that blah, 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 this is my problem is. And then he took a deep breath and then he asked me, what do you think what's going on? At that particular time, it really made me feel, and my brain started to feel, what did I think? Exactly. What is it that I'm thinking what's going on? Similarly, if a client is coming to us with a lot of their problems, challenges, this is happening, my job, employer made me redundant, this has happened, that has happened. I always let them talk. Tell me what's going on. And then they talk and then like, what is it that you really think now? That where are you heading to? I have to go back. I have to pack my bags. Is this what you thought of? No. Then what is it? Is there any way that, I can stay here for a longer time? Is there any way that any policy that can help me out? Because this government has done this, that has done that. Most of the times they come with a very negative, like emotions, because of course they are in the situation. Try to tell them the positivity around them. Try to tell them that there are other things that you may not be looking at right now. It could be few things that you may not have ever thought on, or it could be something that you may not even consider going on, but they still exist.
Absolutely.
So same thing with my team, with my husband, with my family, that whenever we discuss a problem, I always try to think from different perspectives that yes, there is a problem, we all know that, but is there ever a problem in life that has never solved? There is always a situation, always a solution to this.
Not true. No, absolutely. And I think it is pretty important to understand what the problem is and see if you can simplify it, or either if there's a way to still solve the problem, whether it's kind of a baby steps
Yeah.
towards it and
Yeah.
trying to solve a problem, or is
Yeah.
there a faster way to solve a problem? And is it going to be that impactful if you're going to solve it? Coming to that and talking about it, if you're given an opportunity, if you get where you, because there's a lot of services that you guys offer, because when you go to the website, it's a lot of, A,
It
B,
is,
C,
yes.
3. So if you get an opportunity to kind of simplify understanding, because by now you would have driven in analytics pretty well as to what services work pretty impactfully and what services don't, right? But would you choose to kind of cut down the services and make it a fast moving business for yourself? Or would you sit back and take it a kind of a comprehensive approach and slowly, steadily build where you want to build? Because
I would
both will
say-
build in a day, right?
Yeah. No, I would say the second one. As I said, I am not a person. I'm not a fast moving
That's
young
great.
person. I'm more like, let's
Yeah.
go gradual steps.
Yep.
With what we were just discussing about problems as well.
Yep.
So another thing that probably I missed out telling you is that I always have this approach wherein let's solve one problem at a time. As an individual, we often come across, okay, this is happening, that is happening, I'm full of problems. Hello, let's sit down. Let's solve one first. Other may be solved on its own. And it does happen. So with business also, with services, I would say that given an opportunity, I would like to add on the services for immigration rather than narrowing down. Because I would say that VisaWise would be a brand wherein, if immigrants are coming in, they're coming with different nationalities, different policies, and, different journeys. I would like to give them an opportunity wherein they know that, okay, even if they're coming here with another, like a policy, or they want to go somewhere else, we should be able to give them that kind of an advice, and we should be able to provide them that kind of a representation. And that would only happen when we ourselves keep expanding in our knowledge. We ourselves do a bit more. Then narrowing down is definitely not my way of thinking.
That's interesting, because as of now, what the services you offer is more about B2C, if I'm not
It's
wrong.
more about B2C and B2B.
B2B as well, but more, I'm sure it will be around 70 to 80% inclining towards individuals coming in as well. But when we talk about B2B and the businesses, right, they treat immigration as a side item. What I'm not sure about now, because I'm not actively involved, but what in the past it used to be, it was a side item for someone, right? How do you explain it as a role of immigration in a momentum towards New Zealand ecosystem?
Very important. New Zealand is a country which is a multicultural. We all know the fact that, how the economy is going at the moment. And with different countries, migrations happening here, of course, that means that we are bringing in a lot of different skills to this country.
Absolutely.
So imagine a time when we moved in with 15, 16 years of experience in supply chain. So when I came here, I worked with good brands.
Yep.
And I saw quite a lot of different, processes and systems involved in the company. I could help them, and I could, really assist with a lot of systems because I was coming with a background. Similarly, in businesses here, if somebody coming from different countries with their own set of experiences, just imagine the skill set that they are bringing to the country. If we just close our doors, or if we think that, yes, immigration is just a side bench wherein, things are happening, if we don't have anyone from New Zealand pool, then we hire an immigrant just as a contingency plan.
Yep.
Maybe we are not giving them the right, I don't know the right word, but that means that we are not somehow,
Giving them
welcoming
enough,
them in a way it should be. Because those migrants have left their houses. They are not coming with, they're coming with, hell lot of different expectations.
It's an expectations, experience with a lot of talent that they come with as well, and a lot of skill sets that they walk in.
Like that.
And that's interesting to say it as well. Given if an opportunity comes to you where a high growth company or high growth firm that comes to you and asks you for your help in succeeding, pretty much, right? Because let's believe it, every stage and every corner, there's a company who actually are stalled in some shape or form. But if they come you talk to you about help them in terms of succeeding it, but they lack that deeper value that you had. Would you still go ahead and help them?
We are helping them.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
So we are helping them, and sometimes I feel amazed when we talk about bigger companies. The difference between them is that they think they know quite a lot.
Yep.
But actually, when I'm meeting a B2C client, they know much more about immigration as compared to a bigger B2B company. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say that or not, but
you can say that. Up to you.
This is the reality.
interesting.
I really have to help a bigger B2B
Yeah.
company in a way wherein I actually tell them, well, see, this is how accreditation looks like. This is how job check looks like. And I may have to
Interesting.
repeat that 5 times or 10 times by emails, by, verbal communication, just to make them understand that what is it that we're talking about. Whereas with B2C client, whosoever is coming to me, they already came with a lot of knowledge through TikTok, Instagram, AI, or whatsoever sources. And then they come like, we know that this is where we are, so help with us. So I would say that yes, B2B or bigger companies need hand-holding. We would love to do that. We would love to help them and tell them that, how immigration New Zealand works, what kind of an expectations or what kind of an instructions that they have built up.
Yep.
What are the objectives behind those instructions, and how, it helps you whenever you are wanting to hire a migrant. What are the ways and steps that you need to follow, and how it is actually eventually help you in your business growth.
Oh, that's superbly interesting. And well, to take a note, that's interesting in terms of, that you are helping the team to see how they can succeed. And at the end of the day, you have that opportunity as well to learn, to grow as well, as well as, get that kind of a strong importance for yourself that you guys are doing something right. That's the reason why the people have come in and asked you about something, right? But talking about the startups, talking about the businesses, founders talk about funding, or you guys talk about legal pathways, migration. What's your perspective of growth?
Well, see, money is important. Client satisfaction is equally important. As a founder, I would say just to make sure that balance this out. When we talk about scaling up, of course, we need capital investment in that. But simultaneously, we also have to be very careful that what are we trying to achieve? What is it, long-term goals, short-term goals, and make, again, I would say that think 100 times before making a decision. That's what I believe in. As a founder, as I mentioned, that I never rushed things. I had an opportunity to even start off maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
Interesting.
I could have done that in terms of financial abilities, in terms of many other positive circumstances that I had, but I never did. But that doesn't mean that, this is not an advice. This is just my own personal experience that I had. So just do not rush in, I would say that just, like getting into a financial commitments.
Yeah.
Make sure that whatever you're doing is required.
That's pretty interesting. And I think I would put it in a single line would be, process does matter, but
I would say company is all about processes.
Absolutely.
If you do not have right processes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing.
And I think, as I said, process matters, but, kind of purpose outlasts the procedures as well, pretty much. So talking about it, you have scaled in operations of VisaWise where it is right now. But I wanted to know what broke first when you started and how did you fix it?
If you really need an honest answer,
we need the honest answer.
People management is something that I found and I still find really challenging. This is where I feel that I need a lot of help. I need a lot of reading to understand that how to manage this. In terms of immigration, I was confident enough working and dealing with clients. Of course, there must be quite a lot of experiences that I had, positive and negative. But when you talk about what actually broke, the emotional side, wherein I had to deal with people in terms of staff, understanding, managing their expectations, making them work, making them sink in with our energies, is something that I have had sleepless nights because of that. Many.
But how did you work on it?
I'm still working on it.
Work in progress. So
work in progress, and I would say that we all learn. I don't know whether it would ever end, but learning is never ending.
I mean, learning is never ending, and even for the audience, for the founders who may be looking at this later on, once it goes on the social media platforms, what process you wish they built first before hiring anybody in the business? Because now it correlates pretty well with what the answer you gave me about the people management.
I would say systems. So what happened is that with me working, because it's an individual person working on it, I had a very somehow conservative approach as well, wherein, I was using the Excels and the formulas and, like a simple way of doing things. But before hiring a single, first staff member, I was very clear that I have to make sure that the company has proper CRM systems. The financials are being managed by proper financial tools. And then, like in terms of hardware, in terms of software, everything has to be absolutely intact, because somebody is joining in. We have to make sure that, they have a seamless processes, because as a business owner or as a founder, you can do 10 things at a time, but you can't expect the same thing from a team member. And then making sure that they deliver what the requirement is. You have to make sure that you give them the right tools at the right time. You give them the right training. You provide them with a clear, streamlined, methodological approach that yes, this is how the system looks like. This is what you need. So I had spent many weeks, months, I would say, just creating and developing that system, making sure that what I want from team members is a easier way for them to understand. Because what I have realized working with the bigger companies and the smaller companies is that when you scale up and when you have different team members, if you, as a company, if you ease out systems for them wherein they have an advanced systems wherein they know that, okay, this is the way we need to do things in terms of SOPs, they deliver better.
100%. So it's more like having the systems and the templates ready for them to roll it out, rather than expecting them to figure it out how to be done.
Absolutely. And I never had that expectation from any of the team member.
Okay.
Till date, I feel that if there are any systems that have to be built up in the company, I take that responsibility. Maybe because one day eventually we will reach to a level wherein yes, there is a maybe a higher or a senior team members who are doing it. But until now, I feel more confident, and I feel that yes, once I do that, it will be easier for them. Makes their life easier. They know, and then the chances of making errors actually reduces.
That brings me to another question, and I think it would be some sort of understanding of what we spoke till now. Is would you ever choose kind of a high, fewer cases but high impact cases, or would you choose a higher volume services?
I choose higher volume services.
Why?
Because we call it as a specialized area in our immigration industry. Me personally, I like to work on specialized areas, but when I am working on a specialized areas, I have my own mindset completely involved and completely in that, application. And sometimes that happens for 3 days, 2 days, or a week, wherein, I'm completely lost all other things and just working on it.
Yeah.
I could do that to a certain extent, but now being, a owner and then other responsibilities with me, unless I have a team, who are specialized in that, I prefer that, yes, let's work on something which my team members are very well aware of, and they hold expertise in that. Because understand, by the end of the day, we are not delivering a product. It's a journey. It's a life of someone. So we have to make sure that, whatever applications that we are delivering, we deliver to the best in a best way. So taking off in a specialized case and then asking team member that, okay, do this, do that, and plus work on a specialized area wherein you need a lot of attention. I don't want that confusion around that thing. So until we have a team members who are specialized in specialized areas,
certain areas who actually enroll yourself with your company.
No, until then, it's more like a higher volume.
No, fair enough. And that clearly states, the kind of business that you wanna grow into self as well. And what I really understand is you can build a business, but you must reclaim your identity. And the identity always comes from what you look forward to in terms of achieving it. In your case, maybe the higher volumes, right? But given if sometimes happen, if something like COVID comes back and VisaWise doesn't exist tomorrow, what part of Shivani remains unchanged?
If VisaWise is not there tomorrow, it is unbelievable to answer that Shivani will be unchanged. I think there would be a lot of changes that will happen that ways. At this stage, it freaks me out even to think like that. This is not what my dreams are. I would say that COVID happened or whatever unforeseen situation, if ever happens, again, we'll try to solve howsoever we will. VisaWise would remain in the industry. That is my promise.
But I think in another way, because you've built it once, you can always build it next time, right?
Yeah.
So I think to perfectly round that up, I think the purpose of what you're saying is, of course, whoever built the business with the sweat and tears will always don't want to change it. But you always want to make sure that given if anything happens, there's always an opportunity to build that again, because
But we don't change the business.
100%. Yeah. And what misconceptions do people have about advisors? Because how do you guys there's a when you are in front of the people who are coming in front of you about the visa stuff, the advices are different. Once they are gone, there's a behind the scene conversation that goes up, right? Is it because they're talking to the people, they're talking to their colleagues?
You mean clients going out and talking to other people?
No, not the clients, but your teammates themselves, right?
Yeah.
They are advisors who are advising to the clients coming in. How do you show your real work behind the scene for people? Pretty much. So if the clients are gone, they don't know what you're working on.
Oh yeah, that's like
but behind the scene, there's real work going on.
Exactly.
For them is the date. Okay, Shivani applied on 16th of April, maybe. I'm not getting any answers. I don't know what you guys are doing.
That's like everyday work,
Exactly.
for us.
So how do you show them that what's going really in the background or behind the scenes, what's really going on?
It is very, very hard actually to tell them that what's going on. Sometimes they do understand because there are a lot of strategies that we put in. A lot of understanding of the case and a lot of different techniques that we work on. It's not something that somebody came to us and said that, okay, this is when my visa is expiring and this is what we want to do. And it's most of the times it's not as simple as what it looks like, honestly. Within our team, first of all, we are like a 5-year-old. So whenever a success comes, any visa approvals we get through, all our team members feel as happy as it is us who's getting the visa rather than the client.
Absolutely.
So by the time clients gets to know, within our team we feel so accomplished that wow, this got approved. And with each and every approval we get that confidence. Now, to answer you, I would say, think of a situation wherein, in your home, we do so much for our family members, right?
Sure.
But every time if you have to dictate and every time if you have to tell them, see, this is what I did for you. This is, I loaded the dishwasher for you. I did this, I did that. It really do not serve the purpose. Just do it. And just, if you are taking that responsibility on your shoulders and if you have to deliver, just deliver. Whatever happens at the back. They don't need to know. They trusted you. That is why they came to us. They knew that, yes, probably we can deliver something for them. We can bring the outcome that they are expecting from us. Howsoever we did that, we did it.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, don't show it up. We're doing in the background. Let us work because
Just
we're
be
experts.
quiet.
Just be quiet and let us do our job. Because we're
Your
pretty
work
much
shows up.
100%. And, I always felt immigration and the service of immigration always supports, as a business, right? Supports the dreams of other people, right? What is you and what are your dreams?
VisaWise NZ, the reason to name this company is so that we can scale it up. We scale up the business. So my dreams are we will have VisaWise AU, wherein we would be providing immigration advice for Australian, for Australia immigration. VisaWise IN, wherein all about offshore market. We were wanting to migrate from India. So VisaWise NZ for onshore migrants, for business people, for many other clientele. So these are the three things. Definitely, I want that. Wow. That's the first one. And this is the reason we kept the name as VisaWise NZ to start with. But this is not the
This
end.
is not the end. This is the beginning of a bigger market and a bigger scope.
Yes. And the reason that we chose NZ at the back is so that we can add as many as we can.
Smart. Absolutely smart. Just to get that ingredient right, you talked about the dream. Yeah. What's your one scaling secret that changed everything for you?
Discipline and people. These are the two things that has always kept me going on, always motivated me. Wow. There are times wherein I wake up in the morning and I feel that, I'm so tired. I don't want to go. Sometimes I feel that, no, I don't want to go. But not a single day I have ever listened to this. I have been very, very strong somehow, wherein I've always thought that I will get those feelings. I will have all those emotional things wherein I will feel that, no, I don't want to go today. I am the owner. Why should I go? Let people work. I have built up all this way. But no, I love my work. I love my people. I love all the team members and my clients. I have been a very disciplined person. I would always like to remain like that. I have never felt a day wherein, like sometimes you may have heard from people that, it's like the same routine. We go to work in the morning, work. And, by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, we come home straight, same. I am a boring person and I love routine. I love that discipline. If I have to be at office at 8 o'clock, it will be 8 o'clock. So I'm a very mentally strong in that ways. And I think discipline, definitely, yes.
Okay. Not fair enough. And what would you like to tell to the people or the people who are in New Zealand or India or whoever's listening to this conversation of us, as a founder, as a startup, they are sitting on an edge. They are hesitant of starting their own. What would be your blunt message to them to help them out to move from that idea that they have to taking an action?
If you're very, very passionate about it, when we talk about passionate, you must have heard from a lot of people saying that, yeah, if you are really wanting to do this is where your passion lies, then go on it.
Yep.
And sometimes we ask ourselves, and especially as a startup, that is it something my hobby or is it my passion? Because it's quite hard to find the difference between two. Go with small steps. Don't think that, yes, we want to become an Elon Musk overnight.
Yep.
Or whosoever the bigger personalities or influential people. Just listen to your heart.
Yep.
Just listen to your own feelings that you get. Take gradual steps, but take it. So many times you will find yourself in a way that you're sleeping and you're getting hundreds of thoughts, but execution is important. If we execute a single thought and if we deliver and we move on with our actions, it will take you to the next step. Otherwise, you just keep thinking and do not take any
Absolutely. Action. Where does the success in business come from?
I don't know what exactly success is because it is different for different people.
Wow.
For some people, money is success. When
100%.
they become rich, when they drive fancy cars, big houses, wealth, this is success. For some people, when they have name in the society, when they contribute to the community, this is where the success for them. So don't know really what exactly the word success means, but as an individual, as a person, ask yourself what makes you happy. If you feel that, yes, for you, success is wherein, like for me, as I said, that once we have a lot of employees coming in, a lot of employability we
100%.
create, this is where I feel that success is.
That's fair enough. And any last words, any last suggestions, as we come towards the end, is there anything for people listening over there, people listening to you? What do you want to say to them?
First of all, I will say thank you to you.
Oh, thank you so much for coming.
Who have given opportunity to all co-founders, founders, or new startup to come across and say or speak a few words. So thank you for that. And for in general, I would say just follow your instinct, trust the process, do the actions that you want to, spend time with people that you feel that, yes, that motivates you. And in the last, I would say that believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself.
That's absolutely fine. That was Shivani Uberoi from VisaWise, director of VisaWise, reminding us borders might define geography, but beliefs and discipline decide your destination. Thank you so much.
Oh,